Hi guys, I'm Emily.
And I'm Sophie.
And welcome back to episode 3 of the Girls Watch Girls Play podcast. Bling!
What a week it's been.
Especially for you and
me. What has happened?
Chelsea win the treble.
Yeah, that's not big
domestically.
Yeah. I mean, congrats though.
Congrats, well, you can beat everyone in England.
Literally.
We get that.
We understand.
We get it.
So well done. Congrats.
Congratulations. No, seriously though, that season was
massive,
pretty insane for them.
Massive. Yeah, great.
I don't know if we talked about it last week, but I'm not sure if by last week they'd secured funding from... I mean, he does good things. He's the Reddit founder, but he's mainly, to me, Serena Williams' husband.
Oh, the funding for...
Yeah, 20 mil.
Yeah.
Pounds as well.
I don't know if it was announced last week, but it's definitely... We haven't talked about it, so here we are.
Well, yeah. So Chelsea's getting massive funding.
Yeah.
I think I talked about this last week as well, but like people saying that, you know, I guess it does make it less competitive because Chelsea's buying like some insane players. But I just think they're really setting the bar for like investment in the women's game.
For sure. And it's not to take away at all from the lower teams, like in terms of competitiveness, like you can talk about how much they're putting in, how much funding Chelsea are putting in, and how little teams like West Ham are. But they still went out and drew against Chelsea. Yeah. So, you know, really don't underestimate, like obviously Chelsea have got massive names there and also like the depth of their squad is insane.
Yeah. And like we're watching the FA Cup final and what the bench coming on was like Guru Wrighton. Yeah.
In the last 10 minutes you got Guru Wrighton coming on, Rita Canner, and I can't remember who else came on. But
like you imagine you're already 2-0 down or 1-0 down, like getting pretty beaten by Chelsea. You look over at who's coming on. Yeah. And it's those three.
I know, it's crazy.
It's just pretty insane. Like their squad is amazing. But I think like the funding that's coming in for them is just really setting the bar.
Yeah, I think it's also like an echo of how well they're performing and how well they're demonstrating kind of women's sport. It's getting recognised across the world as it should, and they're doing great and good for them for the investment, and hopefully there's more to come for the lower teams a bit lower. But
we went to girl events. We got invited to some place for the first time.
Really cool.
It was really cool, and we went, and it was their first women's sport kind of watching event. And for those who don't know, it's a queer women and non-binary, like usually like a club night, like event night, but now they're branching into daytime and obviously sporting events, which is super cool.
Yeah, they got another one this week for the Champions League final,
which we won't be at because we will be at the Champions League final.
We're so excited.
We're gonna be there.
We are gonna be there.
Yeah, I've never been so excited for anything. And like we talk about when you drove us to Wolverhampton for the Conti Cup final last year. Wolverhampton, not any disrespect to Wolverhampton, but it's a bit different from going to Lisbon.
I mean, we didn't explore it at all. We drove there, went to the game and left.
We talk about it. It's the best day of our lives. Best day of our lives.
Which is ridiculous because some of the recent things we've done together have been pretty freaking cool.
I know. But so I'm just thinking about like us going to Lisbon this weekend. Yeah. In comparison to like you driving us to Wolverhampton, it's just insane. Like
the pipeline.
Not only like what Arsenal have done this season, getting to the Champions League, but also what we've got to now experience being more involved in the space. It's just been incredible.
Exactly. I mean, some of the stuff that we're doing with the Champions League should be out by the time this pod is out. If it's not, then wait for it. It's really cool. But if it is out, then holy shit.
We've been keeping this a bit low-key for a while.
We have. And by the time it is announced, we're not going to shut up.
Oh my god, you're gonna have to put a muzzle on me. Like I literally won't be able to hold back.
I'm not gonna stop talking about it ever. This is so mysterious because we don't want to say it because we're pre-filming this. Like
we film on Monday or Tuesday, and
it should be out Thursday. But I don't want to like upload this video and then it not be announced and then I get sued. So you'll just have to go on our socials at Girls Watch Girls Play on TikTok and Instagram. And he just announced her contract extension.
Freedom on them, freedom on them. Right? We were so in tune with each other there. It was kind of beautiful. It felt like really unison.
Yeah, it was.
Now when you're in choir and they're like, it should feel like one voice.
Yeah,
that's
it was
what that
one
felt
voice.
Like, one voice.
Who was singing them? Both of us, because one voice singing in the... So that is actually a real song, so that's not fair on you. Anyway, yeah, freedom on them, contract extension. Woo!
So happy. Gloves are off.
Yep, a lot of people thought she was leaving, which
No, I'm glad. I'm glad.
Yeah, I mean, she hasn't had a bad season. She hasn't had an amazing season.
I don't think she's had that much game time though, to be honest.
I think she has. God, she's starting all the time. I think she needs more competition in that position. I think. Just a bit more. But
who would you sign then?
Who would I sign? Bon Matty. I'm joking.
Your reaction to everything when we're like Arsenal isn't buying players and you're like Bon Matty.
I'm taking the piss. Who do I want?
We'll probably do something about this later, and like one of the later episodes we'll do maybe towards the
who we want
the end of the transfer window. We could talk
about
shopping
for sure.
We should do a shopping episode.
Yeah, we're gonna do shopping episode, and then like what I asked for and what I got.
Yeah, this is what I got.
What was I saying though? Yeah, soft spot for Frida. I mean, I think that Conti Cup game really, like, if you were there.
Oh my god, yeah.
You know.
If you were there at the Conti Cup final last year, where Frida Marnham went down, there was something about watching it on TV that I heard from people who watched it, and there was also something about being there because people had their phones out and security were going around saying don't film.
It was silent.
Put your phones away. But yeah, I've never heard silence like it.
Just pure fear.
Yeah. It was awful.
Terrifying.
And so glad that she's okay. I also think there's something quite scary, especially when a player goes down and they're not near the ball.
Yeah, off the ball. Completely
off the ball.
Just terrifying.
She was just down. Like, I also find that just like...
I know. And you saw last week Savvy King go down with a heart problem. She had cardiac arrest on the pitch, and thank God she's okay. She's had a heart operation and everything seems to... I mean, I don't know if she'll play again, but she is okay.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters. But yeah, you see things like this happening and it's terrifying. I remember watching, this is men's football, I remember watching the Christian Eriksen game where he went down and had the heart attack on the pitch. That was horrifying to watch. It was terrifying, and thank God he's okay. But just all the clips that came out of that, all his teammates were going around, standing around him, doing like a border so that people,
that's also
it wasn't
what
being filmed.
when she went down as well.
Frida, yeah. But I mean, it's just terrifying and reminds you that there's so much more than just football. But also coming together in that moment. I mean, everyone joint like.
Oh God, it was just
joint fear.
It's just yeah. Anyway, Frida's happy and
she's
fine,
happy,
and
she's that's why we have a soft spot for her.
We love her.
She's great.
She's a brilliant player, and I love her. I just think she's great. She's so lovely. Really happy about that.
So we spoke last week about the funding for Blackburn Rovers potentially being pulled, them out the championship.
Yeah.
And
WSL2. Sorry.
WSL2. And today BBC Sport have announced that reportedly that they will be dropping out of the championship. Apparently the club announced it to their players and their staff today, and I just think it's
so
devastating news. The players, the staff that have worked so hard to kind of keep them up this season, also just like it's their lives. They obviously play football because they love it, and if you're playing at a club like Blackburn Rovers that like do not support the women's team well at all, financially as well, you have got to balance a job and that. And so if they're doing it, it's because they fucking love it.
Yeah, they're putting so much time and energy, and like really is just blood, sweat and tears like going into this. And seeing the women's game like just kind of faltering here is really sad, and is a stark reminder that there is a lot of work to be done in this space.
Yeah.
Especially when we talk about Chelsea and them getting, an extra 2 mil funding. It's so exciting, and all this investment. It's great seeing the women's game get so much. And you have such a vast difference of what's going on in a lot of championship teams, even some WSL teams. And then obviously with Blackburn Rovers now having to drop out of the championship, it's just absolutely devastating.
Yeah, and it's the second season in a row that we've had to see this happen. Last year it was Reading, a team that dominated women's football, or at least were very prominent in the space for a very long time. And yeah, I mean, this happening to Blackburn Rovers it's very frustrating. And again, I mean, the WPLL announced that they want to keep the WSL tiers, which is obviously what it's called now, the Women's Super League tiers, because it's 1 and 2. And they wanted to keep WSL2 operating on 12 teams next season. It's already at 11. So with Blackburn Rovers pulling out, they're going to have to add another one in.
You know who it won't be? Wolves.
But it won't be Wolves, will it?
The whole thing that happened with Wolves is just so so upsetting.
It's offensive.
It genuinely, I completely agree with how you've said that. Offensive.
It's so offensive. Like to the girls, the workers there, to just women's sport in general. The fact that wasn't even thought about, or they were so close as well.
They were literally touch and go.
It wasn't even like there was no chance of them getting a promotion.
They worked so hard.
And to find out at the end of your season working that hard and that it wasn't even an option, that even if you were in a position to get that promotion, that it wasn't going to be an option.
When no one bothered to put you forward. It just shows, like, you can be, honestly, in some of the best positions in women's football. Playing in the championship is already a huge deal. Being that high up in the championship. And it just shows that even at that kind of higher level, sometimes you just won't get the respect that you deserve and that you've worked so hard for.
Sometimes women can work so hard and it's still not enough, which is so unfortunate. And to everyone who made that decision at Wolves, I mean, look at yourselves.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, really
Shocking.
devastating. And I think that's just kind of come up a lot for me recently, like, putting more emotional energy into this space at the moment. It's just a constant reminder that the top level is doing, honestly, like the top 5 teams even are doing really well, and good things are happening, and women's football is growing, and women's football is massive, and all this stuff, and it's so exciting. But women are still working so hard to prove themselves worthy, even at top levels. And it is just so frustrating to see and to watch and to hear about. And it's so hard to be celebrating these big wins, watching these teams still not get any funding. And even at grassroots level, I was speaking to girls recently who were playing grassroots football, and we're just talking about even things like pitch space, trying to find, not like pitch space in London is so hard to come by, and men's team have an absolute monopoly on these spaces. And women's teams, they struggle to even find the spaces. And then when they do, they have to pay so much money, because I spoke to a team recently whose men's team have funding from 2 different places, and the women's team have not been offered anything. They have been begging for funding, and they have been begging for sponsorship, and no one is doing it. But the exact same, their men's side has 2 different sponsors.
Yeah, I mean, sponsorships are so important in women's football. They're so important. They help grow the game. They help grassroots women's teams grow, and not even just grow, just have the ability to have the basics that the men do. About how people don't think about little things when trying to find pitch space. Basically, even things like, okay, you can have this pitch space, but it's miles away from a station and you can have it at 9 p.m. That, in the context of being a woman or non-binary person, is not safe. You have to have that added factor, unfortunately, as a woman.
You have to walk 15 minutes with no good street lighting to get here on your own.
They have to be really selective about where they choose to have their pitches, because they have to be suitable and safe. And when there's no funding, it's not easy at all.
Most of the women's grassroots teams play in the park. And it's again, you compare the men's championship to the women's championship, the level of funding and stuff, that you can see it there, and you can see it at grassroots level, where the men get spaces, the men get funding, the men get sponsorships for playing for fun grassroots levels, and the women's play on probably an unsafe little section of the park, the local park.
Yeah, not even like adult grassroots teams, like kids, little boys grassroots teams. Like, I remember my brother used to play for a football team, like local, and there'd be sponsors all over it. I remember he had McDonald's on it. I remember my dad's company was on it at one point, which obviously it's my dad, so like it's different, but it's still a thing. And so many things sponsor little like boys football, even from that age, and girls can't even get it when they're grown. It's crazy. Recently I was part of the We See You network with Chelsea, and as I spoke about last week, I met some amazing people there, and I spoke to a girl called Taylor. I was kind of with her the whole weekend, kind of grouped together, but she runs a TikTok. I'll do it put it on the screen here. She's quite big. She spoke about how she does a lot of men's football content, because that's what is kind of getting views and a lot of people talking. But she wants to speak about the women's game because I think that's what she's more passionate in.
Or even just like, it's good to cover both. They're
exactly.
both one of the same. You know, that's two games. They're the same game. I hate when they're different games. But.
Yeah. And, you know, I was trying to give her a motivational speech. I was like, you just have to, like, take the leap now with the Euros happening. Like, just make that leap and do it. And, like, people... From our end, people engage with our content because they want to.
Yeah.
Because they like it, because we've built a community of women's football. Whereas obviously Taylor's had like the opposite. She's built a community of men and male football fans, which also men's football can be so toxic just in the way people speak to each other. Like Twitter or X is, within men's football, is horrid. Like the way people speak to each other is disgusting. And yeah, she started posting a lot more women's football content, and the comment section is disgraceful. Yeah.
We sat there together. I was quite tired when I was reading it too, so it might have been also part of it. We sat together and you were talking about how she was wanting to, you know, branch more into the women's space and talk about men's football and women's football. And the first thing she does, reading through the comments, and they were just, oh, suddenly don't care about you. Right, you're blocked. Now I can't take you seriously.
No one cares. Also offensive, like, to her personally.
Yeah. So like, personal. Yeah, even like it just kind of had the sense of, I didn't care that you were a woman when you were talking about men's football. I now don't like you because you're a woman talking about women's football. That is the energy that it gave. I can't give any direct comments on like what they was say, but reading it, that was the tone that was coming across. I cared and now I don't because you've spoken about women.
Yeah. Disgusting.
Absolutely horrid.
And I'm really, really happy and proud of her because she keeps posting stuff. And like, I'm so happy that she's doing that.
She posted like the people at Wembley watching the FA Cup, and it was like, women don't care, people don't care about women's football. And then she posted a video of like everyone at Wembley.
Yeah, she did. And like, people always comment, £5 tickets, No one ever forces anybody to go. You cannot force people to go to something they don't want to go to. Whether it's £5, whether it's £100, whether it's free, whether it's not, whether it's around the corner or you have to travel miles. People will not come to something, they will not go to something if they do not want to. That doesn't invalidate your experience of football. Doesn't make your value in football any less just because people want to go and watch a women's football game. It doesn't affect you at all. Genuinely, the fact that these people actively want to go to a game isn't taking anything away from a men's game. There was a men's FA Cup final the day before. Was it sold out? No, I don't think it was.
Speaking of, big up Palace.
Big up Palace. Congrats.
Big up Palace. Congrats to Palace. We love an underdog.
Yeah.
We watched the last 10 minutes. So cool to see. I mean, the celebrations were absolutely wild.
Yeah, they were wild. And like, that is something that's come up with it. Like, with the FA Cup yesterday, apparently the atmosphere wasn't too crazy.
Right, okay.
I think that's something that does happen in women's football. It is labelled as a family-friendly environment. Can be labelled as a family-friendly environment. And it's something that will build and grow. The vibes during a lot of the Arsenal games we go to are great.
Yeah. Oh, you know. But Arsenal have an incredible... They've put a lot of money into their marketing for the women's football.
Yeah.
And it shows because the people who follow Arsenal, there's a lot of people who follow Arsenal, us being included in that, very loyal, and they sell out more than like any other team.
Yeah.
You can see where Chelsea's put a lot of money into their team. You can see that they've been unbeaten this season in WSL. Arsenal clearly put a lot of money into their marketing.
Yeah.
And that is why their fan base is so incredibly strong in the women's game.
Yeah, and things like rivalry are things that will come with time.
I mean, the thing is, like, men's football has a very, very long, deep history of, I mean, often violence, but just like the deep fan culture that goes for generations and generations. But women's football hasn't had the time to be able to do that because it was banned for 50 years.
Yeah.
Deep, long history and culture will come with time. We can't expect the women's game to have that kind of level of, like, generational passion.
Yeah.
Because we haven't had the luxury of time, because the history we did have was removed when it was banned.
Yeah, and I mean, looking back at the Euros 2022, the vibes there were crazy. Like, that's a
So
lot
excited.
of also, like, that shifted a lot, not everyone's, because there was, as we said, there were still people commenting the way they are, but that shifted a lot of people's mentality on women's football and sport in general. And the vibes were great that summer. Like, everyone was just so happy and wanted to be there, and it was loud and it was good and it was fun.
And also, women's football has more female fans, and women have been taught for the longest amount of time not to be loud. It's to be quiet, to be smaller. You can't then enter into that space and be like, why is everyone a little bit more quiet?
Yeah.
Because when are we ever allowed to be loud? That will grow with time. But you can't expect to tell women to be quiet all their lives and then be confused why, or women's football doesn't have a good as atmosphere as men's football. Yeah, and I'm also not trying to fight someone on the street in a Spurs shirt.
No. I'm not taking my top off and swinging it around.
Yeah.
You wish I was. But I'm not. The date for the Ballon d'Or was announced today, and thank God someone finally listened. It's finally been moved to about a month earlier. Every year for the past few years, as long as there's been a women's football award, it has been held during international break for the women.
No one can bloody go.
No one can go, which is really sad. Like, it's
like
such a
putting your
celebrated thing in football.
It's like putting your graduation on, like, when all the girls are gone on year abroad.
Yeah.
Something like that. It's just like,
it's just stupid.
you can't celebrate. It's just such a silly thing. But it's brilliant that finally things are changing.
Yeah.
Another win for the women's game.
Another win. Shouldn't have had to have been a fight for a win. It should have just been a given. But at least they've heard and they've done something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did write a very angry article about it when it happened in October. So go read that. It's in my link tree.
It's one thing to be offered the opportunity to have the award, but it's another thing for them actually to make time for you to be celebrated.
And now they have. So good.
Very happy about that.
Yeah. No, well done. Should have been there already. What are we going to talk about now?
World Sevens!
World Sevens!
I'm so excited for this. I mean, I've never seen anything like it.
Never seen nothing like this.
Never seen nothing like it.
It is going to be
so intense.
It's going to be nuts.
How long are the games? Like 45 minutes.
30.
That's crazy.
7-a-side, 5-a-side games are intense.
I love them.
I love them. Like, I film content for 5-a-side, 7-a-side games, and like, they're insane that they're like so many goals.
Also,
it's
like
crazy.
Can't
no tactics. But in like a 5-a-side, it's like also the size of the pitch is half a normal football pitch.
It's half the size. Also, like, the thing is, you don't have to maintain your energy throughout 90 minutes. You know, you don't have to be pacing yourselves. You just kind of go out there and smash some goals.
It's going to be nuts.
I'm so excited. You can really see that Manchester United are really putting, how did I phrase this earlier without being crude? And you can really see that Manchester United are putting all their energy into it, because the funding that could come out of it's insane. Was it 5 mil or something?
The prize pool is 5 mil. It won't all go to the winner, but
it's a lot of money, and Manchester United are bringing their best squad.
Yeah,
they're bringing the whole squad.
They're bringing all of them.
They're bringing all of them.
They've even got Millie Turner, I saw. She's injured. But they brought her for a little holiday. Fair enough.
Where is it? Portugal. Yeah,
it's near Lisbon. It's near Lisbon. It's near Cascais.
Yeah. Oh my God.
We love it
Cascais.
there. We love it
We want to go so bad.
We do. If we have time this weekend, we'll go.
If we have time this weekend.
Not to the
what do you
World
mean?
Sevens, or just like...
We won't have time this weekend, full stop.
We will. Friday night, I see a vision.
Friday night, I see a vision of me getting crunk. But not too crunk, because I've got a big day on Saturday that I need to be ready for.
Yeah, you do.
And if you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
And if you don't,
you'll see.
I'm so mysterious.
Obviously, it's Champions League as well. It's a pretty big day, but
it's going to be crazy. And I want to be in my best state possible, because...
For sure. Also, I cannot deal with that game hungover.
But I need to be on my best form for Saturday.
Yeah.
Whether that be going to World Sevens or whether that be going and out in town, I need to be on my best form for Saturday.
Yeah. A little civilized dinner will do.
Yeah, I'd like, share some wines, have some wines.
Oh, some wines will be had.
Yeah.
For sure.
Some Carver. Oh, that's just Spain trying to be France.
We're not even in Spain.
Yeah, but that's what Carver is, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can have Carver in Portugal.
I know you can.
Surely.
I know you can.
I'm
What
so
were we even talking
excited to be
about?
there. We're talking about World 7.
World Sevens.
Manchester United putting their whole good
They
team
are.
forward.
City.
Who else is in it?
City.
City barely have a squad right now.
They do, but even
There are
like
people coming back, actually.
yeah, but even some of their squad aren't going. See, I saw who not going. Kirsten. Yeah, what you doing?
Kirsten.
Why are you not going?
Did you not get invited, or are you not going?
So we've got Man City, Man United, Bayern Munich, Roma, PSG, Ajax, Benfica, and Rosengard. They're the 8 teams. Pretty good teams.
Mm-hmm.
So
I am really rooting for United for the fact that they put a lot of... They're putting the best squad out there.
I think PSG will also be up there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to see as well. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. See
Also,
what
like
happens.
such like a rogue, like few different teams, different places, different stages, and I guess a lot of these people will play each other. Obviously, United and City and that will play each other a lot, but other teams will only play each other in Champions League kind of stuff, and then like not all of them will, and so a lot of them will be the first time playing against each other.
Yeah, for sure.
In such a different environment as well, because like
yeah.
I don't know how well trained these girls are for a 7-a-side.
No, that
totally
is
different,
completely
yeah.
different game.
It's a complete
That's when you can say it.
It's a completely different game.
That's a completely different game for sure. Like I would have liked to have seen these teams go against each other, just like not in a 11-a-side, just because I think it's good for experience getting to play teams in Europe. I think it just makes competitions more exciting in the future. But you know, it's different. I don't know if it will happen again. I mean,
it's crazy that you watch it on your lunch break. That's how short it is.
Yeah, but I do think, like, in a way, there's been 2 sides to it, haven't there? Like, woo, the prize money, and also why? What is the need for this massive European tournament coming up?
And the women's schedules are already pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's not necessary. The only kind of benefit out of it really is the
prize
money.
fund, yeah.
Obviously, experience getting to play in
But
Europe.
I also think... Okay, maybe this is a bit rogue as a thought process. People have been held back a bit from a lot of people from getting into women's football. This is a short, quick, easy to watch way for people to now get introduced to women's football. As a society, we're falling more into watching a lot more short form content. So having games like this will probably give more exposure to people, you know, to these teams and to women playing in general, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. But also, is there a sense of like amateurness to it? Like,
yeah,
I think partly it does feel a bit unserious and a bit. I feel like that this wouldn't happen in the men's game.
No.
And obviously, they're very far apart in their kind of progression. But I do think there's a sense of like amateurness to
but
this.
what isn't amateur is the prize fund.
No,
which is why teams are taking it seriously.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, there is pros and cons to the whole thing. But as someone who is a follower, I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be...
I just think it's so exciting to watch the top level players play a 7-a-side.
Me too. I think, I can't wait.
And who knows if this will be a one-off thing or this will be something that becomes like integral to the women's game.
Yeah.
Like, we'll see.
Yeah, we will see.
But something new and exciting that's trying to further the game, trying to get more people involved, I'm there for it.
Yeah.
Although... I also completely think that the schedules that the girls already put on is really intense and they need to be taken a bit more seriously because you see with the injuries happening at the moment and especially with the ACL epidemic.
I mean, I would hate for an injury to come out of this.
Yeah.
Like, if it does, it's really risky because if an injury comes out of this, the backlash will be insane.
Yeah.
And very angry. So we hope everyone is good and plays well.
Yeah. Of course.
No, nothing there happens. But I mean, it's the first, like, it's the inaugural season tournament of it, whatever. And I think if it does become a thing, I think you will see big clubs dropping off that and it becomes more of a West Ham thing, becomes more of something just a bit
lower
tier. Low-key. Sorry, I keep dissing West Ham. I just think it's because our local, you know, Palace as well,
Love Palace.
Villa or whatever. Going to do our Champions League predictions.
See, I've been against this section of the podcast because I don't want to be putting any negative energy out into the world, but I also don't want people to think I'm delusional. I've seen Chelsea eat us up 1,000,000 times, and I saw how Barcelona just knocks them off like they were nothing.
Yeah.
Like they were dirt on their shoe. I just can't. And Chelsea just like absolutely have dominated us this season. Like I can't. And like I just want to be realistic. I don't like this section at all. Sophie, you do it.
I just want a goal. I just want something for us to celebrate, and I'll be happy.
I just am so excited about being there. They keep forgetting that like there's a whole game to play, and it's not just a whole game to play. It's our dream game as well. We've always wanted to see Arsenal play Barca. We always also knew that it probably wasn't going to be a game where our team shone. However, we were so excited the first time we got to see Barcelona play when they played Chelsea last year. Yeah. We were super excited about seeing them play this year, and it's our dream game in our dream tournament.
Yeah,
and probably one of our dream locations too.
Couldn't be.
We love Lisbon.
We love Lisbon. It couldn't be better.
Apart from the fact Barcelona are just so untouchable.
Yes, but I do think it's a final. I think things are different. It's different levels when it's a final. In a way of like, I think it'll be a tight game.
But also,
I hope,
if we did predictions for when we were playing Lyon, I probably would have said a similar thing.
I would have said, if we're lucky, it'll be like what? After the second game, I would have said like 3-2.
There was no way that I could have predicted or have had as much faith.
Yeah.
That what happened would happen.
And people came out and said, like, notable people in football came out and said that's the best they've seen an English women's team play on the European stage. Woohoo! Come on, girls.
It's just crazy that was something that happened when we played Lyon. And then what happened the next week? What happened the next week?
We lost against Brighton and Villa.
Yeah.
But
then came back against Man United, which I also wasn't feeling super positive about.
Oh no.
I didn't feel...
There was no positivity there for me at all.
I really was like, oh, what a shame.
I thought, shit, we have third place.
Yeah.
But alas, they pull through.
See, I'm like, maybe I don't have enough faith in our girls as I should.
Faith in our girls. I'm thinking... 3-2 to Arsenal.
Oh. All right.
Frida Mano.
Oh, to Frida.
Yeah.
I'm saying 3-1 to Barcelona with a melancholy goal from Caldente.
Oh, God. That's rough. In the 90th minute. Oh, God.
See, that didn't feel good to say now, did it? And now I've put that out into the world and we're about to put that out into the internet.
Well, I put good things out, so...
Look, I hope you're right. I hope and I pray. And like we did that little spell with the last game, we'll do a little spell on this game.
We're going to do a spell. Watch out.
Watch out.
It's going to happen.
Barcelona. We wish good things for you and your players, but we hope you don't have a good game.
I'm quite good at having visions. Some people...
Do you want to say that? Do you want to say that again?
I'm good at having visions.
Like, spiritually?
Yeah, like, if I can see something happening, it's gonna happen. Like,
okay.
Can
I love that for you.
And who can I see lifting the trophy? It's quite hazy right now. My vision.
Tune in.
I'm trying to tune in.
Tune into the spirits.
Like, in person, who can I see? More basic. Can I see us celebrating? In the Lyon game, I could see us celebrating so much, but like, I don't know if it'd be a win, but we could definitely celebrate. Can I see us celebrating? Yes.
Yeah, I can too.
Celebrating.
All of a sudden, I'm really good at having visions. I'm seeing. Wait, I'm seeing it. We're holding hands. There's tears. The smell of victory in the air. Confetti.
Who wrote that? ChatGPT?
Yes. My brain is turning into a computer. Oh my God, no, I'm not actually joking. I see us having a moment where we're like kind of emotional about it and like we're so happy.
I see us crying tears of joy.
Yeah.
We sound insane. We're going to get locked up after this.
Yeah. Hey, FIFA.
Hey, we are fine.
Hey guys, we're fine. We're just like really tapping into that spiritual side of us.
If you saw us before the semi-final, second leg, you would understand, like, we were so spiritual. I was genuinely praying.
Yeah, and I think it's important to put it out there that we were not historically neither of us are currently religious, nor either of us very spiritually inclined. But when it comes to football, it brings something out of us that's like, well, we genuinely have no control over this situation. So let's.
It's not even like we're praying to like a religious figure. Like I am genuinely.
Oh, I am.
Really, I'm praying to like my nan and granddad.
Oh no, mine's an old man with a white beard.
Santa? So you pray to Santa, I pray to my nan and granddad. And that's how we're going to win the Champions League. But I do think we're going to win.
You know what? After that little motivational speech, I see that. I see that for us. I see that for them.
You just had visions.
And I had a vision almost like a prophecy. I know.
Next week, we'll finally be allowed to talk about everything we've been doing recently.
It's genuinely, or like, because I don't know what's out. If you want to check our socials, something might be out, something might not be. But it's been the greatest thing I've ever gotten to experience. And I'm so, so, so happy I got to do it with you.
Me too. And we're only halfway through. We've still got more to go. And we're just so happy and excited and proud and like, just wow. This has genuinely been the hardest thing to keep secret.
Yeah.
And it sounds like we're really bigging it up.
But no, because seriously, the more we've done of this experience, the more I realise how just large scale it is and just how lucky we are to be in it. And not just lucky, but it proves that we've worked quite hard.
Exactly.
To be someone in this space right now. And like, it just shows that there's something nice about us, and that makes me feel really happy, and I'm really proud of us. And I'm really excited. I'm really excited to share it with everyone, and I'm really excited that maybe more people will be involved in our community after this. And I'm just so excited to keep building on this space where we get to talk about football and experience football together and talk about the community that it brings, and I get to share that with you. So hopefully next week everything will be out, so that means that the whole episode next week we can talk about
all Champions League and all everything we're doing to do with that. So we can't wait.
And just the whole experience. Yeah, I just can't wait to just chat through everything that happened.
We've been in NDAs, so we're very excited to just yap about it, basically.
Yappa.
But yeah, keep your eyes out and please show it some love if it's out right now.
Give it a share, give us a comment.
We will be on a flight when this goes out. So we'll be on our way to Lisbon. Cannot wait. We were there last week. Ooh! But we're going back.
We're going back. Wait. And you'll see why. And I'm so excited. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in this week. Again, to let us know that you listened, because we're not really sure if anyone's been listening to this. Anyway, thank you so much. Love you guys. And hopefully we'll see you next week.
Ciao.
Bye.